Does a pre-referendum promise by the executive hold any weight against the provisions of the new constitution? It's the question that has dominated debate on whether or not monthly allowances paid to members of the 10th Parliament should be subjected to taxation. A group of members of Parliament who met in Mombasa 3 days ago now plan to hit back at the President, the Prime Minister and the Vice President for allegedly duping them in July last year to support the enactment of the new constitution, promising that in return they would continue taking home their untaxed monthly allowances amounting to 650,000 shillings per member. Speaker Kenneth Marende continues to insist that just before last year's referendum exercise, he received letters of undertaking from, among others, the Kenya Revenue Authority, indicating that current members of Parliament were insulated from taxation on their allowances and that the two principals had okayed the move.
We must have leadership that has the moral character and courage to honor its word.
If there was any such arrangement, it must have been a gentleman's agreement, which in my view has no force of law.
The taxman is demanding that members of Parliament pay arrears backdated to September last year, but some aggrieved lawmakers are planning to slow puncture the implementation of the new constitution by frustrating the passage of the necessary legislation. They also plan to frustrate the passage of budgetary allocations to the offices of the President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister. The threats have triggered a flurry of reactions.
Mambo ya kulipa ushuru sio kwa hiari, sio kwa kupenda, ni lazima kwa sababu katiba inasema kila mtu alipe ushuru.
It is going to be an act of cowardice ikiwa sisi wajumbe tutaenda katika bunge to curtail programs of parliament because of our sake. Kama wewe ni mjumbe na hujisikii kuwa na mshahara kidogo, you are free, you can resign, uache kazi yako, mtu mwingine atakayeuliwa atakuja kufanya kazi na sisi.
The Parliamentary Service Commission, which oversees operations of Parliament and is chaired by the Speaker, meets on Tuesday to deliberate on the taxation issue. The Kenya Revenue Authority has threatened to institute recovery measures against members of Parliament who will be non-tax compliant.
And those enforcement measures include recovery of the money through bank accounts or debts that are owed, or even in drastic cases, the sale of assets.
So far, only a handful of members of Parliament have complied with the KRA directive, with the majority waiting for directions from Marende and the Parliamentary Service Commission. Francis Gachuri, Sunday Live.